as it stands now, at the end of January, with the Ursa being out for the first time, what do I think of exploration? I love the ability to come zip down to a planet, grab a rover, and just go tooling around. As far as 3.0 goes, it's not that immersive because you abandon your ship when you get here, which means you're stranded. And then when you're off tooling around, there's not a lot to do yet. Now, the potential that this brings with it, once everything's fixed, is going to be amazing, because driving around looking at the flora on Daymar is amazing. Looking at these hydro vents out here on Celin is amazing. The planets look great. There's lots of cool stuff here. I just can't wait to be able to load this sucker up into a ship, such as the Aquila, go find the crashed ships, go find some derelicts, park nearby, drop the rover, and go up there. Have my friend in the co-pilot seat or sitting there myself, providing cover fire, and just having some fun, even with the Dragonfly. Now, maybe I could get the Dragonfly to load up into a ship a little easier, like I had tried a long time ago when 3.0 first came out, and hopefully I don't break it again to a point where I don't have it, which would suck. But I think the ability to do this is just insanely cool. I haven't gone to Yella yet. Yella, I always confuse the name, but I look forward to being able just to zip on over there and cruise around on the frozen ice surface. The beauty of the planets is great. Now, the frames per second isn't amazing. Right now I'm sitting at about 25, with a few dips lower than that. You can see the ships are all bugged out, but again, what I'm thinking they're doing right now, in all honesty, is that they're just punching in the core gameplay elements, such as planetary landing, cargo, mining, transportation, things like that. I think they're really just focused on getting those in place. Once those are all in place, at that point I think they'll really push harder on getting some of the bugs fixed. So I'm really not expecting a ton of bug fixes for 3.0 to come with 3.1. Now, I think I saw somewhere they're not really planning to do any hot patches for 3.0, which initially sounds really stupid and kind of backwards. Hydro vents that are off. And the reason initially that sounds dumb is they just put out the Delta patcher, meaning we don't have to wait. They can just throw stuff at us as soon as it's ready. I've seen on other channels like Board Gamer and Youngblood and Noobify that they've mentioned things like server-side patching is going on, and those are things that we wouldn't see or necessarily have to download, and that's how they were able to disable interdiction for a little while and then bring it back. And I'm okay with that, and the reason I'm not kind of pissed off or really concerned that 3.0 is not going to be getting any real fixes is simply because I believe if they are going to make their quarterly release goals, then they're going to have to cut those initial patches out, get the content in, and then make sure that it works. So what I think we'll see is they'll introduce the content in 3.1 late March. They'll do their burn down, they'll do their critical patches and things like that. They'll do the PTU and some of the critical stuff, and then they'll just punch it out to the PU. Let us throw more of the core stuff at them, see if we find anything that's game breaking, and mostly just provide feedback on how the actual features are working, because cargo in its current state is very limited. We knew it would be going in, but the amount of information flowing back to CIG at this point about cargo and the issues and the changes in the future is really kind of invaluable to them. That's also why I think they're doing the ship survey now, to allow players to give their feedback on the ships they've flown, the combat they've had, to really kind of shape how things are going to look moving forward with the game. So if they cut the patches out and really actually hold themselves to the quarterly release schedule, and what they release is actually pretty decent, meaningful content, then I see it being a positive that there's not a lot of patches rolling out in this version now. And that's really up to them and how they decide to handle it. So I'm interested to see what they do. As of now, I'm really glad that they got the rover in and that the rover works. Whoa. I'm glad they got the rover in. I'm glad that you can play with the rover. Apparently I'm now falling down the hill since I wasn't at the controls holding my rover in place, so this could be painful. But it really does open the door and introduce some incredible gameplay opportunities. Combine this with mining, have a rover on the ground helping the prospector and the big ships. There's just so much cool stuff that we'll be able to potentially do in the near future that I really look forward to, because again, I bought the game to really focus on this type of gameplay. To be able to just move around and explore and do whatever I want, go where I want. That's what I bought the game. Why I bought into the game and why I've really enjoyed, for the most part, everything I've done so far. I mean, this rover, and I just slid down the hill, that's totally bugged. This rover should be destroyed. But the fact that I flew a ship from Olazar, okay, planet's gone, but the fact that I spawned a ship, flew over here, landed, grabbed this other ship, and just drove in without load times, without waiting, is what's so fun about this. And the fact that the graphics do look pretty good. Yeah, they need some optimizations for sure, but that's just incredible, and it's fun, and it really has the potential to go far if they can hold to their schedule and make it happen. But they have a long way to go. A really long way to go. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely be making some more content for Star Citizen as I try different aspects of the game out and as more and more things happen. Unfortunately, I don't know how much more I'll be able to do with the rover since I have a hard time getting to use it, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this brief introduction to surface exploration with the Ursa rover. Kind of my thoughts. I'll just kind of fade out here with some cruising videos of driving around Daymar and looking at things on Celin. I know I had some glitches, but we'll see what we can get going on it, and I hope you enjoy it. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.